Welcome back to SnowRunner, guys, and this is the 2022 Crawler. Now, this seems to have emerged seemingly out of nowhere. I did a little bit of digging into the mod, and it seems like I said before, it just kind of popped up right there, and that was that. Now, when I saw it, obviously, I had to go ahead and give it a try because I love vehicles like this. I love, fully built crawlers with a massive cage, huge axles, huge tires that are literally designed to just roll right over massive obstacles and, get tremendous amount of flex out on the trail. And so I figured I would just bring it out to the standard testing grounds and go through the customization options, see what it's all about. And then if we like it, we might take it out onto some more gnarly trails a little bit later on. But the cool thing about the standard testing grounds is the fact that it does have some rock areas where you can take some kind of creative lines if you have a vehicle that's capable enough. Now, let's go straight into the customization. And engine-wise, we have a 700 horsepower engine, and that is it. Gearbox-wise, we have an off-road gearbox, and that is it. Let's see, lift, we have a lift, and that's it. Although I will say, the suspension underneath it looks pretty, well-developed. It actually has a dual shock setup. One is a coilover, and one is a bypass, and then the other one, oh my god, it actually has bump stops underneath it, too, like giant bump stops. We have 43-inch off-road tires. They look like a BFG compound. And winch-wise, we have battery-powered, extended battery, and motor-powered. So we'll do extended battery. And then wheels, we have a steel wheel. Color-wise, we can... Oh, that's cool. We can basically go through whatever colors we want. I do dig that. And you can tell very obviously that it's based on a Jeep JK body. But, I mean, this is very little Jeep JK at this point. I mean, it is a JK in body only. Now, as far as what color we're going to paint it, we might be able to kind of change up the color later. I kind of like the light blue. The light blue is kind of different. So let's head out of the garage. Wait a minute. Is the camera... Oh my god, the camera is like weirdly offset with this thing. That's not something that I figured I would notice, but it's a weird detail. Let's see what happens when we start it. Default engine sound. That's interesting. Do the lights work? The lights worked seemingly just fine. Now, I'm interested to see... No high range. Oh, that's really weird. That is super weird. It does have a hitch. Let's see if it can tow anything. Nope. Because the frame, if you look, the frame has, well, it's got a hitch receiver. It doesn't necessarily have a hitch, but it has a hitch receiver. Let's take it over to the flex ramp and see what it looks like over there. Now, it does drive pretty well, and the transmission programming in automatic mode seems pretty good. Okay, yeah, you can tell very, very easily and very quickly that it was made to go down the trail with massive amounts of flex. Not only was it made to go down the trail with massive amounts of flex, but it was also tuned to have a lot of torque, but not necessarily be all that fast in a straight line. Now, the interior is obviously super simple, super basic. I mean, that dash, I'm sure there's going to be people that are going to be like, what do you mean it's got no dash, it's got no gauges? But, there are some rock crawlers out there in real life where the dash is basically just aluminum, and maybe they have, an RPM gauge, a fuel gauge, and a couple of temp gauges on the dash, and that's about it. And the cool thing about a dash like that is if you want to add another gauge, you just drill another hole. So let's see how it climbs up this hill. I'm sure it's going to climb it no problem at all. That's not going to be the test for this thing. The test for this thing is going to be the rocks a little bit later. This is a very manageable 700 horsepower, and I feel like compared to other 700 horsepower vehicles that I've driven in SnowRunner, this doesn't feel over the top in any way. So let's put it in low. Wow, dude, I think if you're looking for a realistic crawling experience, this might be a decent place to look. Oh my god, that just kind of popped itself right up on the rock. And not only that, but you could see that it spun a little bit, but it didn't really have necessarily an issue to the point to where you would go, oh, it's not going to go anywhere, it's not going to make it up the rock. It was definitely going to make it, we just had to kind of find the right line. Let's see, now these rocks are really slick, so you do have to make sure that you're not, in a sketchy spot with them. Oh, wow, look at that grip. That's amazing. That's properly intense rock grip. Oh, no, I went too far. Yep. Oh, and there it is. What? How is it balanced like that? That makes no sense at all. That is hilarious. You know what's funny about this, though, is that if you need to spawn another one, you can just spawn another one. Now, the reason why I say you can just spawn another one is because, where is it, first of all? I have no idea what it actually is in the vehicle spawn list. So I'm sure it's like in here and I've already passed it like 3 different times, but I'm going to go ahead and jump back to the garage. And the interesting thing about this thing is the fact that because it's not a highly customizable vehicle, you just kind of like pick the color you want, and then that's all you really need to do. So let's go ahead and paint this one orange. I think it looks really good in orange. I do wish you could put beans on the dash, but you know, minor details. Now, the frame rails on the front kind of make me wonder if they have plans to add extra bumpers to this thing in the future. I would like to see extra bumpers. I know I would. And I would like to see the ability to maybe even add, maybe not necessarily like a big bumper to the front, but like, you know, like kind of like a tucked away Stinger style bumper with maybe a winch on it. I feel like that's something that you might see on a vehicle like this if you saw it in real life. But other than that, I mean, this thing is really, at the end of the day, it is a dedicated rock crawler, and we're going to take it somewhere where we can truly test that rock crawling ability. And just like that, we have made the switch to the Bootleg Hallows Map, which is actually available on consoles, and if you're looking for some really gnarly rock crawling, absolutely check this map out. And this trail is actually directly behind the garage, so literally you can start up a game on this map and build your vehicle and go directly behind the garage, and boom, you have rock crawling right there at your fingertips. And I can't help but feel that this vehicle just straight up feels like it was made for this place. Now, let me just make sure I'm going the right way. I think I am by going right here. I'm not completely sure. I've never taken this trail before. But, okay, yeah, no, it looks like I'm going the right way. Easy. This thing just has so much suspension travel and so much tire that when you take it on a trail like this, it literally just feels like it's kind of rolling right over everything. It's like, don't worry about it. It's fine. Although I have kind of scuffed up the grill a little bit. But don't worry about it. It's all good. Now, should we make a right or a left? Since I'm looking for more rock-related testing, I think I'm going to go right because it looks a little bit rockier. But also, I haven't quite memorized this map yet, so the trail to the left could be even more rocky, and I might not even know it. So let's make our way. Whoa! Dude, this thing just looks so good. Like, going down the trail, not only going down the trail does it look good, but, I mean, this straight up looks like something that you would see show up to an off-road park on a trailer and absolutely decimate every trail in sight, drive right back up on its trailer, and go right home again. I mean, that literally feels like what this thing was designed for. And when you have a spot of trail like this where you can pick up a little bit of speed, you can just put it in automatic mode. Now, let's see how well automatic mode does when we really try to put it through its paces in something like this. Let's see. How do you climb in auto mode? That's not bad at all. Bro, if you wanted to leave this thing in automatic mode, you totally could. There's nothing wrong with leaving it in automatic mode. God, that is wild. The capability that this thing has in automatic mode is absolutely off the charts. I mean, technically, unless you were in a massive bind, you probably wouldn't even have to put it in automatic mode. Or sorry, not even automatic mode. You wouldn't have to take it out of automatic mode. I mean, if you wanted to use low, you know, like standard low or low plus, you totally could if you wanted to, and there's definitely benefits to doing so. But if you wanted to leave it in automatic mode and just kind of vary the level of throttle input, you could totally do that, and I don't think it would punish you for it, like, at all. Now, since we've found just a little bit of mud right here, let's see how it does in the mud. I don't think it's going to do all that well, but I'm still curious. Now, there is no high range, so I'm kind of like, oh, yeah, I'm kind of thinking it's definitely not designed for mud, and this proves it right here. But then again, I mean, it's a crawler. It's not meant to go through mud. It's not meant to be a mud bogger. I mean, there are definitely better dedicated vehicles for going in the mud if that's what you like to do. And if you genuinely prefer like going to mud maps, I don't know if I would fully recommend this vehicle, but if you're spending a bunch of time trail riding on some really like crawling focused maps, oh my god, you've got to check this thing out. It literally makes me want to even go off the trail and find other obstacles that I haven't found before because it just wants to crawl right over them. I mean, that's genuinely what this thing is designed for, and oh my god, it does an amazing job at it. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to let me know your thoughts and opinions on this thing in the comments down below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. And drop it and go. It's funny, this thing doesn't get going crazy fast until it gets into the mud. 3, 2, 1. Drop it. Come on. Dude, the front axle was off the ground for like the entire launch.